Welcome to the Growth Room with David Daniels. Today, we're incredibly fortunate to have David Potter, the visionary principal advisor for Dark Horse Works, with us. David, with his Dartmouth MBA, is a lauded healthcare strategist and commercialization leader. Today, we'll be diving into his unparalleled approach to healthcare consulting and exploring the significant trends he's observing in the industry today. David, it's a pleasure to have you. How are you?
Fine, David. Good to be here. Thank you.
Great, great. Can you share a little bit about your background and your role at Dark Horse Works now?
Absolutely. I won't stop at every waypost along the way, but ironically enough, I started out in consumer products with General Mills,
Okay.
and through various byways and pathways, I ended up in the healthcare innovation world around the turn of the century. I was put in as the business guy for a spin out of intellectual property at State University who needed a business person to launch it and run it. And
Mm.
I got hooked. It was a early days digital health platform that helped the morbidly obese population to better self-manage their condition. And from there, I went on to other roles out in Philadelphia, Temple University, spin out down there. And so basically, over the last 25 years, I've been involved in various roles with various innovative companies in different modes of care delivery, of operational issues and things of that nature. And Dark Horse Works, I've been part of that organization about 2.5 years. Just prior to that, I'd spent 4 years, excuse me, heading up technology transfer at Brown University for life sciences. So had a lot of diverse interest back and opportunities to deal with different situations there. One of the things that came out through my experiences at places, including Brown University, is that so many of the founders mistook their own enthusiasm for what the jobs to be done really were in terms of satisfying the customers, the users, the critical ecosystem players to make it all move forward. And so Dark Horse Works, the founder, Eric Eske, is a very veteran person in this game too, who's always been very much enamored by the art and science of the jobs to be done approach to really nailing down what it is your customers and other key constituencies really need to achieve, not what product modifications. It's really a more broader outcomes kind of approach to things than a more traditional market research or things of that nature. But we get into the operational part too. We work with several right now healthcare technology companies from abroad who are trying to figure out how to work within the United States healthcare system, frankly, which is pretty challenging. So we're like Sherpas to them in terms of guiding them towards successful launch and then funding and then, a growth trajectory, which is satisfactory to the investors. So there's no shortage of things to do.
No doubt, no doubt. What would you say a typical day looks like for you as you're doing that?
Well, right now we're dealing with two primary customers. Both have issues around getting enough clinical evidence so that the FDA will hopefully approve. In one case, it's a medical device. In the other case, is a therapeutic. So getting evidence is a key piece. Also getting connections at hospital systems who will be ultimately, the purchasers of the technologies is a piece of it. And thirdly, both the companies are also in the early stages of raising capital. They've never done it before. So a lot of what we're doing is, holding their hands, frankly, and guiding them down the get the money path, which is, as you probably know, in this environment right now, very challenging
Right, right, right.
environment.
These
Yeah.
kind of clients and customers, do you guys have to go out and find them, or do because of your, because of your good name in the industry, do they usually find you guys?
Well, case of these two current clients, it's not always been the role, the way it's been done. But yes, um, we were referred to them,
Okay.
and them to us by, in one case, investors in one of the companies, in the other case, somebody who knew somebody type of situation. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. What major shifts are you seeing in the industry, compared to 5, 10 years ago?
Well, there's especially compared to 10 years ago, there's a decided um, hesitancy to take a lot of risk. And that goes right down the line from investors to the value analysis committees at hospitals, who would be the customers for a lot of this, all the way through. It's the new terminology, relatively new terminology, is as opposed to looking for opportunities, it's to underwrite risk. It's sort of almost like an insurance company type
No
of
doubt.
a thought process, which makes it, much more challenging than uh, even 5 years ago.
Right. Why
Um,
is that, do you think? Why the change?
I think it's several factors. One is there have been some spectacular failures in healthcare innovation, and not only have cost a lot of money, but brought a lot of professional embarrassment and so forth to it. And secondly, in healthcare, you have to be, because you're dealing with people's lives. The guardrails are pretty tight to begin with, so
No.
they've gotten ever tighter because all the parties want to avoid being someday pointed out as being, you failed to recognize that important problem or issue or whatever. So it's yeah, going back 15 years ago, it was kind of a wild, wild west thing, writing checks, doing, yeah, we'll try this, do beta tests. No, no, it's culturally and from a practice standpoint, more measured, very much more data driven, less intuitive, and more hoops to jump through
No
to
doubt.
get to the goal line.
No doubt. How has that impacted, you guys' business or growth strategy at all?
Um, I'd say the answer is there's still, demand for what we do. We've been dealing with a large portion of our business has been dealing with healthcare innovators from outside the U.S.
Right.
And we were brought on to be their Sherpa, as it were, and because the founders and so forth didn't really understand how things all worked over here. And
Right.
so we had to continue to be teaching them that at the same time, doing things to help move aside obstacles and continue on the path of being at least getting a trial opportunity
Right.
by customers.
No doubt. No doubt. In that effort, what's working well for you guys right now, and possibly what's been frustrating?
Well, I think the working well part is, fortunately, we have, I mentioned on the capital raising side, it's extremely challenging, but two of the three of us have over 20 years of points of reference. So we've, we've kind of seen uh, the alphas and omegas and the whole thing. So
Right.
we take it in proportion. So that's one thing. Uh, on the positive side, I would say that um, there's much more of a framework of responsibility by uh, people in the insurance industry and the payers, they're called, and the hospital organizations and individual clinicians about really understanding impact of what they do and how they do it from a 360-degree perspective, as
Right.
opposed to the much more simple transactional nature. A lot of them were used to 10, 15 years ago.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah. So it's culturally, it's a bit of a change, to say the least.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. From a business standpoint, what metrics are you guys focused most on improving right now?
Well, it's we want to continually have our clients say we're great, and they couldn't do without us. Uh,
Right.
Build a reputation, and yeah, that's the big thing is we want to keep sustaining our status as a desirable partner who innovators, entrepreneurs come to us um, because they've heard that about us, and they want to talk about it. So
No
we want
doubt.
to be very conscious of our brand
Yeah.
and keep it sharply uh, hewn. Because we all three of us really love what we do, and we don't want to have to do something else.
No doubt. No doubt. That makes sense. All right, last question. If you had a magic wand to fix just one thing in the business that might be slowing you guys down at all, what would that be?
Well, ironically, one of the challenges we are facing on a practical level is there's almost an overly optimistic view of, oh, AI will take care of that. No. AI is going to be very helpful and instrumental, but I think you know what I'm saying there. There's a
Right.
naivete around expectations of how AI is going to just solve all these problems. And uh, as you well know, good human judgment and things of that nature have got to be, they've got to be there right in the middle of things. So to answer your question briefly, it's to kind of um, re-educate a lot of the folks that it's not quite that simple in many cases, as
I
far
got
as
you.
being able to go into the internet or wherever for solutions to your problem.
Right, right. Now, you're still always going to need the human touch and in the brain capacity from a human to, make the right decisions in business. So I totally agree with that. So, David, thank you for being here on the Growth Room and sharing your insights. It was very great, and I really appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot.
Enjoyed it. Thank you, Dave.
All right.